Good morning, everyone. It's Sal, Stretford Post. How you all doing? And welcome to another episode of Chatterbox. Hope everyone's doing good. Hope everyone's doing fine, guys, this Tuesday afternoon, whatever you're doing, wherever you are. If you're just enjoying your holidays, your school holidays, your college holidays, your work holidays, whatever it is. Thank you, guys, for joining me today, of course. Please don't forget to subscribe to the channel if you're new, and please don't forget to smash that like on the video if you guys can do that for me. That's absolutely lovely, guys. You're absolute great people for joining me today. Of course, now, let's get straight into it now, guys, shall we? Shall we get straight into it now? I just want to mention about the recent news. Manchester City have made an offer, have approached PSG in regards to Donnarumma, an inquiry as to see how much they could possibly acquire Donnarumma for. PSG have put a 50 million price tag on Donnarumma, of course, the best goalkeeper in the world, in my opinion. But Manchester City look like they are looking for another goalkeeper as Ederson looks likely to leave. Now, Galatasaray have inquired about Ederson. It's not a given. It's not set in stone. But, of course, when Man City come calling, you know, these players, they don't support Man United. So this is what it is. At the end of the day, you snooze, you lose. If you snooze, you lose. This is what happens at the end of the day. You lose out. You will lose out, guys. And I said it before that Chelsea, Man City are all going to be vying for the signature on Donnarumma. And if we don't move, we're going to lose him. And guys, look, you know what? Man City have spent a lot of money in the last 6 months. I did hear from them a couple of months ago in regards that they probably won't spend that much this summer, of course, but that just seems a little bit far-fetched. It just doesn't seem like a transfer window without Man City doing any business. Of course, they've done a lot of their business early, of course, and some people have forgotten that and everything, but they did spend 400 million 6 months ago, didn't they, at the end of the day, guys? But it is very, very interesting, guys, in regards to the Donnarumma situation. Of course, I would love Donnarumma at Manchester United. I would dearly love Donnarumma at Manchester United. But if Manchester United miss out on that goalkeeper, you know what we need to do, don't you, guys? There's Senny Lemans. Go and get Senny Lemans. Forget about it. Go and get Senny Lemans and don't worry too much about it. I would say, in my humblest opinion, guys, absolutely. Even though I would love Donnarumma, let him go, Man City. We'll go and get Senny Lemans, a future star in regards to future of football. But obviously, Donnarumma is a big, big player, of course, guys. Absolutely. Now, look, guys, look, there's a lot of news going around about Manchester United. And obviously, Liverpool are going to make another bid for Isaac. That's going to improve Liverpool somewhat significantly, of course. And I don't want that to happen. Absolutely, I don't want that to happen. Of course, I don't. But when we're thinking about the likes of Garnacho, Alejandro Garnacho, look, you know what I would say in regards to this whole situation, and I want to say it clearly, right, guys, because I supported this guy right from the beginning, and he's let me down, and the professionalism has been null and void. He's basically saying indirectly, I'm not going to play for the football club anymore. I'm not available for the play for the football club anymore, you know, unless you sell me to Chelsea. But Chelsea have to make the offer. Now, what do Manchester United do? We should not be held to ransom by players. When Manchester United, we're tired of being held to ransom by players, you know, players who've underachieved. You know, these are not even players who are winners. You know, as I said earlier, I mean, we've had the likes of Beckham, Cantona, Scholes, Giggs at our football club. They never whispered a word. But you've got players like Garnacho who seem very inclined to talk quite a lot about, you know, what I want to play when I want to play. I'll play when I want to play. Hell no, I ain't getting no playing. I'll play when I want to play. Absolutely. But yeah, look, Garnacho is an absolute problem at the moment, and I think he needs to be sold. But we cannot sell him for less than his value. His value is 50 million. Some people don't think he's worth 50 million. He's actually less than what he's worth. 50 million, which is 58 million euros, is the going rate and market value for a 21-year-old talented lad with a little bit of an attitude. And that is what it is at the end of the day. Sometimes you play for football clubs, and just like Ruben Amorim said, sometimes you can play for a football club, and guys, it just doesn't work out at the end of the day, and you just have to move on from it. It's nothing personal. You just move on from it at the end of the day. But what do? Do we accept 30 million from Chelsea and let Garnacho go, or do we hold on a little bit and say, look, Chelsea, you want Garnacho, you're going to pay that much money, because at the end of the day, Chelsea are the ones who sold us Mason Mount for 50 plus million, didn't they? They sold Madueke to Arsenal for 55 million. So what are they talking about? As soon as it comes to spending money for Man United, they're bums. They're absolute frauds. Shameless again. Shameless teams, absolutely, I would say. And guys, the big Baleba news, the Baleba. Guys, look, you know what? In regards to Baleba, Man United are preparing a massive bid for Carlos Baleba. Of course, Manchester United had a 300 million cash injection into the football club. So Manchester United will make a huge offer for Carlos Baleba. And it does look likely that Man United will move forward with this deal at the moment. Of course, other teams will be interested in Carlos Baleba. It's not just Manchester United, by the way. Liverpool are interested in Carlos Baleba, but I firmly believe that Man United have done work on this deal. They've worked on this deal for longer than we think. I know that we only think it's been going on now, but I think they've been doing it for quite a while now, a couple of months, as Omar Barada said after the Hong Kong game, that, you know what, we've been working on things, we're confident, we're calm. Let's wait and see what happens in regards to that, of course, guys. Let's just wait and see. Guys, thank you everyone who's joined me this afternoon, of course, this evening. Hope you're doing well. Big up Jamie, big up yourself. When we bid in, Sal, look, you know what? We're going to have to wait. Man United are preparing a bid. And obviously, when you prepare a bid, you have to get all the legalities sorted and stuff. It's not just like, you know what, go to McDonald's and buy a Big Mac. It's not like that. You know, you have to get everything sorted, the legalities, the financial side of things, make sure everything is pinpoint. You know, you have to get all the lawyers involved and stuff, and then you approach with the bid. And hopefully, Man United will do it very, very soon. Guys, another little bit of news: the 1958 protest has been cancelled. Now, guys, I'm going to give my spin on this because I don't want to talk too much about it, but I have my thoughts about the protest. I just feel like the protests don't work because it's too soft, and I will say that 100, but wholeheartedly, it's too soft. We want Glazers out. Say we want Glazers out. Hit the hut, they hit the hut, they hit the hut, they don't stop dipping to me. And that's what I'm talking about. You know, it's not gonna scare the Glazers. The only thing that's gonna scare the Glazers is basically, you know, emptying the stadium, you know, attacking the sponsors and stuff like that, attacking the regeneration project. Now they're really good at timing. This is the first game of the season, of course. I really want Ruben Amorim to succeed. I don't know about you, but I want Ruben Amorim to succeed, guys. I don't want Ruben Amorim being left out to dry, guys. I want him to start well. I want us to win the game against Arsenal, guys. Absolutely. And we worry about that sort of stuff later in the season because at the end of the day, it's just a distraction. It doesn't work. If you're doing the same thing again and again and again, it's a form of insanity. It's not going to work. You have to be a little bit more ruthless. Now, if they had something which is a little bit more forthwith, if it's a little bit more aggressive, then I'll be like, well, they mean business here. But we want Glaze out. Say, we want Glaze out. Hit the hot, hit the hot. Yeah, you know what I mean? So I would say that they need to really reevaluate what they're doing because I don't think they're doing it well, even though I applaud them, by the way. I know they want to applaud. I will give them an applaud, okay? Because that's what they want. They want an applaud. But what I'm saying is this. You will know Inter Milan, you'll know AC Milan, you'll know Real Madrid and all these teams there. Because if it was those teams there, we all know that what will happen. We all know that it would be an aggressive, powerful protest. And you know what? One that will hit their pocket, as we know, of course. Big up Ephraim, how you doing, my friend? Are we doing well? Good afternoon, Sal. Unfortunately, Jono is going to City. We'll have to wait and see. Ephraim, Sal, we have to bid now. Let's see what happens after that. Let's see what happens. Maybe Man United will make a bid, of course. Absolutely. Sal, it is great. Good news. Garnacho is close to Chelsea. Let's hope so. Chelsea have to offer the money. The guys, look, Chelsea have to offer the money. We're not going to be held to ransom by Alejandro Garnacho. You know what I mean? At the end of it, we're not going to be held to ransom by him. They have to offer us the money, otherwise he's not going anywhere. And that is basically it. We're not taking 30 million for Garnacho. We'd be absolutely ridiculous. That will just show a sign of desperation. That will make Man United look bad. 30 million for Garnacho. That will make Man United look bad. It won't make it look ridiculous. It make it look crazy. Absolutely. Jamie. The leader of the 958 was in the space. I was just in what an absolute fraud, and so every fan who ain't protesting this weekend. No, I'm sicking what I've just heard on that space. What space was it, Jamie? What space was it? I don't know about them, but one thing I will say is the leader of the 1958 movement went on other channels. The other channels are not even Man United fans. He went on channels that pretend to be Man United fans, Mick Ruby and all these frauds and things like that, who I would never go on their channel anymore, because they're not real Manchester United fans, and these guys have going on their channel, and I'm like, what are you doing? And I mean, are you meant to be taken seriously or what? You want to be taken seriously, but you want to go on clown's channel, you know what I mean, with AI everywhere and stuff like that, and a fraud, I mean, and this is what I'm saying. Like, they need to have a serious sit down. If they want to sit down with me, I will talk to them. I've been, I know what a protest is. I know what protests are about. I've been in and around Italy. I know what they do, guys. So look, if they want to talk to me, I'm more than happy. I'm all ears. They want help, I'm all ears. They don't want to know me though, because I'm a copy rect, isn't it? At the end of the day, absolutely. Kazi, good afternoon. Hope you're doing well, of course. Hi, Sal, my main man. Big up, my main man, Jamie Way. I'm not the main man. I'm just Sal. By the way, big up, Bobby. Hope you're doing well. Good to see you, of course. Good to see you, of course, my friend. Bobby, we're not submitted a bid for Donnarumma, right? We've not submitted a bid for Bobby. We're not submitting a bid for him. The only thing is that Man United have inquired about Donnarumma. Donnarumma has said that I wouldn't mind going to Manchester United, although, of course, this is early days, isn't it? There are going to be teams after Donnarumma, one of the best goalkeepers in the world, if not the best goalkeeper in the world. Gianluigi Donnarumma, of course, does respect Manchester United, wouldn't mind moving to Manchester United, but if a Champions League team comes along like Manchester City, it will be enticing for him because it's a major league, it's the Premier League, Champions League. It would have to take the arts of persuasion for Man United to try and get this deal over the line. It's going to be incredibly difficult because Man United right now, as we know, we're very one-dimensional, tunnel visioned in regards to what we do in this transfer window. We go for the one player, and that is the one player we want. And in this instance, it is Baleba, unfortunately. And I like Donnarumma, but if Man United don't manage to sign Donnarumma, of course, Man United also, let's not forget, Man United have to also wait for Onana. What's Onana going to do? Is Onana going to lead the football club? Man United won't sign Donnarumma unless Onana, leaves the football club at the end of the day. So, because obviously they can't have two number ones. Big up, Gray, you legend. How you doing, my friend? Hope you're doing well. Afternoon, hope you're doing well, brother. Why do you think that likes of Sancho, Rashford, and Garnacho get away with their disgusting attitude towards United? Who do they think they are? Absolutely, Grayo. It's annoying, and it would never happen with Alex Ferguson, of course, Grayo. It would never happen with Alex Ferguson. These players will be left to rot in reserves. Obviously, what Garnacho said earlier about, I'll sit for 2 years and run down my contract basically and not play football and I'll be unavailable. Okay, mate. All right. What Man United should do, right? All right, mate. Go on then. Go on, mate. You're going to go in the reserves for 2 years. They shouldn't. He's trying to call our bluff. That's what he's trying to do. He's trying to do his reverse psychology. So Man United turn around and say to him, no, don't, wait, and that's what he's trying to do at the moment. We cannot be that club anymore, being held to ransom by kids. I mean, these players are standing on the shoulders of giants, guys. These players are standing on the shoulders of giants. There are great players, legends, elite players of this football club who are legends, elite players, right? Who play for this football club, who built this football club. These players are standing on the shoulders of legends. And all they're doing is looking over the fence and like, I don't like that. And they go back under the fence like that. That's what they're doing. They're not going full and climbing out and going there and charging in the trenches. They're not like that at this football club, this bunch of players, a few of these bunch of players, unfortunately, And I'm disappointed in Garnacho. I'm disappointed in Rashford. I'm disappointed in Anthony. Anthony, another one. Anthony, who's holding the club to ransom. I will only go to Batiste. I don't want anyone else but Batiste. Batiste are offering a loan deal with no obligation to buy. They're taking the mick. They really are taking the mick, ain't they? A loan deal with no obligation to buy. What's that all about? What's that all about? Absolutely ridiculous. It is an insult. A scumbag team. Absolute frauds. Again, frauds.com. That's what it is at the end of the day. Big up, Grayo. Big up, my friend Grayo, of course. Kazi, City just want to buy everyone and go over. Absolutely. Look, listen, this is what Carsey said there is very, very true. What I've noticed about City, i.e., they've signed up Naipan, players like that. They sign them, they send them on loan, so no one else buys them. This is what Man City do. This is what I dislike with a passion. They would rather ruin a player's career, sending them on loan, buy him, send him on loan, than Man United or another team in the Premier League having them. That should be that shouldn't be allowed. That's ridiculous, isn't it? And that's what Man City do. And Man City will buy Donnarumma, even if Ederson stays. They'll purchase Donnarumma just so he doesn't go to Man United. They're looking at Man United right now, Man City, thinking, oh no, oh my goodness me. That you know what? You got Pep scratching his head even more on the touchline of that, and they're probably thinking, oh, you know what? Oh, Man United improving here. We got to get someone from them. Donnarumma said he wants to go to Man United. We better try and get Donnarumma from them. And that's what they do. It's sick of me. Absolutely fraud of a team. Fraud of a team. Absolutely. Big up, Ellen. How you doing? Hope you're doing well. Good to see you, of course. Please, everyone, can you smash the like button, subscribe button? Appreciate yourself in the brilliant chat. Thank you so much, Grayo, again. Thank you, legend. Thank you very much for that, my friend. Thank you, you legend, of course. Done, Grayo. Thank you, Bobby. Big up yourself. Big up. Lamens will be brilliant. I won't be disappointed, Kenny, because I was a little bit conflicted with that anyway. Who we're going to get? Donnarumma. We're going to get Lamens. We're going to get Donnarumma. But you know what? It's going to be very difficult to get rid of Onana. This week, Man United are trying to organise a behind the doors friendly with Sesko and Onana playing in those games to try and get them fit for the Arsenal game. So in this week is a no-no. We're not going to sign a new goalkeeper right now. We're not going to get rid of Onana this week, of course, by the looks of things. And it looks like that Donnarumma, as I said many weeks ago, guys, it's going to be extremely difficult to do the Donnarumma deal if we get the likes of Baleba in the door, and we're fighting for Baleba at the moment. If we get Baleba, it's going to be incredibly difficult for Manchester United to get a Donnarumma because of the money that's involved, the time it's going to take, etc., etc. Now, PSG are not going to be easy pushovers where they're looking for 50 million, guys. They're looking for 50 million euros for Donnarumma, of course, which, you know what, Donnarumma is on 1 year left on his contract. 50 million, it's a lot of money to pay. Man United might try and do it in installments again, the installment plan, which takes time, guys. And this is the whole thing we're talking about, isn't it? So it looks like that the Donnarumma is unlikely. I wouldn't say it's in the realms of impossibility, but it does look a little bit unlikely at the moment that we're going to be making any move for a goalkeeper right now. Obviously, Baleba is the main man right now, what we're going for, the man to fix the midfield. Jim Ratcliffe has basically said that, he's investing in the football team and he expects results. He expects changes in this football team. He expects Man United to move up that league. Let's wait and see what happens, of course. A goalkeeper is very important, though, guys. A goalkeeper is very important. I feel like a goalkeeper, the position of the goalkeeper is so underrated. It's so underrated. You need a proper, competent goalkeeper between the sticks because they can cost you games, as it has done. Ellen, I love Donnarumma, but it's if like Baleba and Donnarumma, I take Baleba. We have to take Baleba, Ellen. We have to say that. Of course we do. Even though I feel like the goalkeeper position is extremely important, but I don't think there's a problem with us going after a Senny Lamens. I don't think I think he's already wants to come to Man United. He would love to come to Man United, play in the Premier League, of course. I don't think that is impossible to do. And if we don't get Donnarumma, I don't think that is that impossible to do. Of course, as the fixtures go on, guys, we've got some tough fixtures coming up this season, of course, guys. And you know what I would say is that we're going to have to be on our game, guys. We're going to have to be on our game. As you can see, with the first 5 fixtures there, we got Arsenal, we got Fulham, we got Burnley, we got Man City, then we got Chelsea. In the opening 10 games, we also have Liverpool, guys. We also have Liverpool. Liverpool's another game, that we are going to have to negotiate. So we need the best squad we can possibly have to lead us into a successful or relatively calm start to the season, because we don't want to be going into these 5 games. Guys, you're looking at Arsenal, looking at City, looking at Chelsea, losing 3 out of 5. If we do that, and then that's going to absolutely disrupt us for the rest of the season. We go into the Arsenal game, we win that game. Of course, we're not going to get any more signings for the Arsenal game. It is what it is, guys. I've got the match preview on Thursday, by the way, guys. Don't miss that. But it is what it is. We're going to go into the Arsenal game, and we have what we have, and we have to try and beat Arsenal. We've beaten Arsenal in the past. Let's try and beat Arsenal again. I don't think it's that difficult. Do you? Absolutely. Absolutely. Big up, everyone. Big up. Dreo. We're not going to get Donnarumma. I'm happy with the men's, though, to be honest, brother. I'm happy with the men's. I'm happy with him as well. Isaac definitely going to Liverpool towards the end of the window. Depends if they bid a reasonable price. There you go. Absolutely. Guys, yeah. No, I told you that, look, at the end of the day, once a player says that I want to leave the football club, I don't want to play for this football club anymore, we all know what happens, don't we? The player often leaves. Of course. Absolutely. Have I got my... Let me... Hold on a second, guys. I haven't even got my mic plugged in. Hold on. This. On. There we go. Ba, blah, 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 blah. There we go. I hope that's a little bit better, guys. Hope that's a little bit better. The men's, I'm happy with that. Big up Dabbies, that's me too. The thing is, I'm disappointed is Zanana staying. Yeah, he's going to dig his heels in, isn't it? At the end of the day, they're definitely going to dig his heels in. Absolutely. And let me just see this. Yeah, good. Ellen, are Newcastle in for Rasmus? I haven't heard anything about Newcastle, but the most I've heard is AC Milan and the loan deal for Rasmus, which is a 4 million loan deal, of course, and an obligation to buy of 29 million. Man United won a little bit more than that. Man United won about 6 million plus a 40 million obligation to buy, of course. Paul, what's going on, my friend? I'll be doing well. I think this management will try to get the most out of the bomb squad if they were previous one. What's that? Don't quite get that, my friend. Sorry, mate. Don't get that, mate. Bobby, same here, Jamie. We're big up, Jamie. We're all pissed off, mate. We're all pissed off. So as I'm pissed off. Don't worry about it. Kalu, keep him. Then keep him. If you want to keep a player that is not happy, then keep him. If you want to keep a happy... No, we're not going to keep him. Absolutely not. I don't think any of us want to keep him, my friend. EC, big up Sal. So much hatred from the bomb squad towards United. They are disgraceful. The club that made them into stars, and they repay the club back with nonsense. I know, mate. We made them. We made them, mate. We absolutely made them, and no appreciation, of course. That is the culture at the football club. Upacamo, is it true? Look, guys, Man United have been linked with Upacamo. Guys, let me just tell you this right now. This is early news in regards to the defensive side of things. Of course, Upamecano, you know, we were linked to him a few years ago. He went to Barcelona and teams of that ilk. I mean, he is a little bit of a clown, really. I'm not going to say that, but he is a little bit of a... he's a bit like Maguire to an extent. I don't think Man United are looking for a defender at the moment. That's what I'm talking right now. I don't think Man United will be going in for a defender. There is obviously shock leaks to him. It is a shock, guys. It definitely is a shock that we will be going after a Upamecano, you know, at the end of the day. And I would say that that is unlikely to happen. There's far more better defenders out there than Upamecano. Of course, Upamecano is very experienced. He's a French international, blah, 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 World Cup winner, blah, blah, blah. But I just don't think Man United should be going in for a deal like that at the end of the day. If it was free, if it was nothing, then maybe that would be a good point, of course. Let me just check this tweet, of course, guys. Let me check it quickly. So, but Upamecano, look, you know when Upamecano first broke through the ranks, right? He's got talent, right? He's got talent. You wouldn't play for the clubs he's played for if he haven't got talent. I would say that, but, he plays for Bayern Munich, and I just feel like he's got talent, but I just don't feel like he's that player that is going to elevate Man United in the defensive side. I think it'd be great if Upamecano was a substitute, was a backup player, so to speak. You know what I mean? I just don't think that he would sit on the bench, though. We've got Aiden Heaven, Lenny Yoro, Licha Martinez, Mazraoui, De Ligt, Maguire. Are Man United going to sign a defender? I think if Man United sign a defender, it's going to be a defender. Excuse me, it's going to be a defender on a free transfer, in my opinion. Absolutely. Drank J, what's going on, my friend? I'll be doing well. Greetings. Garnacho's behaving as if he's a talent of Rooney or Cristiano. Very rude and problematic. I hope he leaves it. Yeah, very narcissistic, I think. Frankie J. He comes across very narcissistic, very full of himself, without actually proving anything, to be honest with you, mate. And I would say that I'm disappointed in him, to be honest. I am very disappointed in him. And what I would say is that he needs to fix his attitude. You better check yourself before you wreck yourself, as the famous song goes. I would say that he needs to check himself. He definitely does. And he needs to check his attitude out because, he needs an attitude adjustment. In the WWE, it's the attitude adjustment, isn't it? But he does need that. He does need an attitude adjustment. He does need to sort that out because you know what? A footballer's career is short, and in my advice to him would be sort out your attitude, mate, because your football career will go down the drain very, very quickly, and before you know it, you'll be retired, mate, and no one will want you, and that's what I'm saying. And if you're talking about though, I don't mind spending 1 year, 2 year on the bench, in the reserves, then you're really playing with fire here. You're playing with fire. You're playing with your career. It's absolutely mad, isn't it? No to the French Maguire. Absolutely. We don't want that. Absolutely, mate. The 1950 are absolutely cowards. Just shut them up or just pay them off. Jim, just shut them up. I mean, I don't know. I'm not going to spread rumors, mate. But what I would say about that, I've already made my peace with that. I've said what I need to say about that, of course. We all know about, that. But it is what it is. It is what it is. We have to move on, guys. 9 points from 3 games is a must. We have to start well. If we beat Arsenal, Kenny, that's a big possibility. We beat Arsenal, which I feel like we can beat Arsenal. I feel like we can go into the Fulham game, the Burnley game, and win all of them. That's 3 games, 1 in a row, going into the Man City game with huge confidence, of course. Hopefully, we won't get too confident. We've been here before when we're too confident. We have to be very, very focused on these opening games. In the opening 10 games, you add Liverpool to that as well, Newcastle to that as well. We got some tough fixtures coming up, guys. We have got some incredibly tough fixtures coming up. And you know what? We're going to have to be on our game from minute 1. This is why we needed the players in early. This is why I don't give Ineos a 10 out of 10 this window, because we are late. We're going into the Arsenal game. We got what we got. I'm confident. Sesko, Mbumo, Cunha. Guys, I'm looking forward to it. Let's see what it brings, of course. Let's see what it brings. Big up, Timo. How you doing, my friend? Hope you're doing well. Really good to see you again. Good to see you, my friend, of course. Big up everyone in the chat. Big up the members, of course, as well, guys. Frank J. If Chelsea wants Garnacho, they must pay 50 million or nothing. We have to stop giving away to our players. Absolutely, Frankie J. Frank J, we're Manchester United. We shouldn't be held to ransom by any kid. Any kid, because that's what he is at the end of the day. He's a kid. He's a kid. We shouldn't be held to ransom by these guys. It's ridiculous. And Man United should just say, okay, mate, we're not going to get a 50 million offer. You're not leaving this football club. It's as simple as that. So you better make some phone calls, boy. You better make some phone calls, because we don't get a 50 million offer. You're going in the reserves, mate. And you know what, mate? It's World Cup year. Argentina in the summer. You want to be part of that Argentina squad, mate? You go when we tell you to go, and you act professionally, mate. And absolutely, that's what it should be. Absolutely. Jamie, they have been paid off again. Exactly what happens. It could be a point, mate. It could be a point. You might be onto something there. What I'd like to ask him during the sales process, why were you ill Radcliffe and against Arabs taken over? What I'd like to ask, I would like to ask a lot of people that, Jamie. That is one of my main questions I will ask, but we all know why it is, Jamie. We don't need to explain it. We don't need to clarify anything, because we know what it is. We know what it is. All this virtual signaling, all this human rights business means nothing, because at the end of the day, there's people out there who talk about human rights and then don't give a diddly squat what's going on in the Middle East right now when we're talking about human rights. Because actually, you know what? It's, not born and bred. I don't really care about them. You know what I mean? At the end of the day. And, this thing that Sheikh Jassim Hamid didn't exist. Another one, another old chestnut. When it was proven he exists, they slandered the bid. They slandered it. And you know what? That's what they did. I will not forgive him from that. I'm not flip-flop. I'm not flipfloppy.com. I am Sal with an opinion. And that is it. And I'm not flipping-flopping from that opinion. Flipping-flopping. Absolutely. Not at all. And you know me, I did go all out on the Qatar thing. And I did fight the corner for it. And you know what? A lot of people were coming up to me this week. Well, one person came up to me this week and said, Sal, are you going to apologize for and admit you were wrong about Jim Ratcliffe because you manipulated fans, blah, blah. Mate, listen, you know what? Listen, if you want to talk about the birds and the bees, don't come to me with that nonsense at the end of the day, because they have not proven anything to anybody. You know, they ain't proven anything to anybody. Yeah, it's right. You know, you want to talk now, don't you? Want to talk now when a few positive things are happening, which they have to do. Man United have to sign these players. Man United should sign Cunha. They should sign Mbumo. They should sign Sesko. They should sign Baleba. This is what Qatar would have done, mate. But we would have had a full Sal and the Qatar and it glazes out. Our enemies, our arch enemies. That is what it's all about. So, you know what? At the end of the day, these people can talk their smack. They can talk their rubbish. They can cry on because, you know what? Time will tell, won't it? I thought that we were going to sell the club as well. I thought 2026 we're going to sell it. Hi, bro. Love Manchester United submitted a bid for Baleba. Man United preparing Lazarus. Big up Lazarus. Hope you're doing well. Man United are preparing for a bid for Baleba. It does take a little bit of time, of course, but that is imminent. Frank J. Onana is going to leave this season. Forget about that. He could leave for in the 27th season. Man United need to get quite a lot of money for Frank J. Man United need to get quite a lot of money for Onana as well. It's not only about, you know, him leaving. It's about we need to get around 27, 28 million for him to comply with FFP and PSR. And we're looking at it. We're thinking, who's going to pay that amount of money for Onana? You know, there might be someone out there. I don't know. Absolutely. I want Qatar in and yes out. I do not care any more signings they have made. It doesn't make me forget about the embarrassed I was last season. Jamie, I agree with you, mate. Big up, Jamie. Real Betis are shameless. I hope they lose and get every game in there. Real Betis, they're scumbags, mate. They're scumbags. They're a small team in Andalusia behind Sevilla. They're a bit bitter. You know, we beat them many times. And you know what it is at the end of the day is just that They want to try and mug Man United off. They want to try and, fraud Man United into getting Anthony. Anthony can sit down. He could do his spinneroonies in training. He could do his spinneroonies against the under-21s. That's what he can do at the end of the day because you know what? He's going nowhere unless there is a fee, and I absolutely agree with that. If Real Betis want him, Real Betis have got the cheek to try and offer a loan deal. A loan deal for Anthony with no stipulations, with no obligation to buy. Can you believe that? Absolutely disgraceful, scumbag behavior, bum behavior from that football team. Absolutely, in my opinion. And I used to like them. Ephraim, Sal, if we do not get Baleba and Wharton, who would choose? I mean, that's a tough one. That is a tough one. Kamara of Monaco. There's also Javi Guerra of Valencia. There's the two players that off the cuff that I wouldn't mind bringing into the football club. Absolutely not. Ephraim, Sal, is it true that we forced Anthony to take the offer? Otherwise, you will not wait until January. I don't get that, my friend. At the end of the day, I don't get that. No offer is coming from apart from a loan deal. David says not getting Donna could be a blessing in disguise. Lemons could be turned into world class. Maybe. Let's hope so. Of course. Big up, David says. Sal, is there any players back from injury? Not at the moment. Xerxes not going to play. He's not going to be back from injury yet. I do believe that Mazraoui had a little knock. I think he's going to be back at the weekend. Probably will be playing, hopefully. And other than that, no one's back from the injury. Not that I'm hearing of course. Nietzsche not. He's back in September. Why did they invest in January? Then Elia Radcliffe cost us Champions League. There you go, mate. You go and tell. I will tell you a list of people that, Jamie, that you should go to them and tell them why. Because I know what you mean, mate. You don't need to ask me. I know what you mean. I've been there. I've protested. I've done it. You know, I know what you're talking about. But you need to go to those people who are actually backing this thing. Then there, you know what I mean. Rogers, it's wait for Baleba. Big up Kyle. Well, Kai, Robert, hope you're doing well. Let's wait and see. Of course. Grayo, Sal, do you think VTech could have made a difference this season? What is your opinion on him moving on loan? I mean, I didn't agree with it, Gray. I didn't agree with him going on loan. I'm a big fan of VTech, but there were obviously rumours about VTech not getting on with Ruben Amorim, which is extremely important. Apparently, there's some little thing going on with them. He wants first-team football. Ruben Amorim's not willing to give him first-team football yet. And he said that, well, then I don't want to play. I mean, he would have went on a tour, and he didn't, did he? You know, yeah, it's a shame about that. Another goalkeeper. We had Kovar as well. He's another goalkeeper that I was a big fan of. I rated very highly. Very, very disappointing, of course. Justina, how you doing, my friend? Great lad. Good to see you, Justina. Thank you so much for coming in the stream. Elfrem, so do you think we will pay what we asked for Baleba? No, I don't think we will pay. I think we'll pay a little bit less than that, but it is still going to be very, very expensive, not far off what they're asking for. I think there will be a whole load of different stipulations in regards to, contractual obligations in there, incentives and stuff like that, that will move it up past the 100 million mark. I think Man United are going to make a bid 75, 85 million with a bunch of incentives that will move it over 100 million, in my opinion. Of course, we'll have to wait and see, of course, guys. Absolutely. Big up Done and Dusted. Hope you're doing well. Hope you're good. Big up everyone, big up Randy, big up everyone, and big up the legend that is Chatterbox. How you doing, my friend? Hope you're doing well. But this behavior is a result of 15 years of mismanagement at United on all fronts. This couldn't happen at any other football club. Amorim will change this, I'm sure, and I'm glad, because Amorim is in the process of changing this toxic nature at Manchester United that has been going on for far too long now. Players think they hold the key. They think they have the power over this great football club. Nah, we need to move away from that. If Garnacho says, I'm not going to play for 2 years, I'll sit and wait until I might run down my contract, mate, go in the reserves. Goodbye, Tara. You're going to get nothing from us. Absolutely nothing. Go in the reserves. You're just like the under-21s now. Absolutely. That's gross misconduct, by the way, refusing to play. Shouldn't it? Surely. You know, Randy. Onana must leave. He's embarrassing, a clown. Absolutely. Big up, Randy. Sal, if we win the first 21, if we win the first games, it's 21. Come on, man. Come on. Let's hope so. Get rid of Dalot as well. Dalot's another one. But you know the thing with Dalot, mate. Dalot is very professional. You know, he's very professional. He's very well behaved. There's nothing that ever comes out negative in regards to Diogo Dalot. You know, he's one of them teacher's pet kind of players, isn't he? He's a teacher's pet, and he's well liked in the football club. He's not talented enough, in my opinion, but yeah, obviously he's well liked. Kevin, Baleba and the goalkeeper get this window 9 out of 10, bro. I agree with that, Kevin. It will be about a 9 out of 10 if we get a goalkeeper and Baleba through the door. Absolutely. UK Darren, clubs are taking a piss out of us, Chelsea and Real Betis, hoping to get deadline. They think we're mugs, mate. Darren, they think we're mugs. They think we're absolute clowns, mate. They're looking at us, and we're Manchester United, for crying out loud. They're just, sit down, you little Betis, little men in green. Sit down, you little trolls in green. That's what Betis are. You little trolls in green. Sit down in your place, on your lane. That's what they need to do at the end of the day. If you can't pay the money, don't enter the big boys conversation. That is basically what it is at the end of the day. And listen, Anthony, if you want to go to Betis, don't worry about it, mate. You can go there on holiday. You go there on holiday, and that is about it. You're not signing for the football club. You could just go there on holiday. You can even go to their stadium and look at the stadium and have a little ground tour, because you're not leaving unless they pay some money. Absolutely. Absolutely. That's what it's all about, of course. Jamie, anyone comes to me with that, they're getting smacked in the mouth. No, my goodness me. Big up, Jamie. I feel you, brother. I feel you. Darren, big up Sal and Grayo legends. Big up Darren, you legend, mate. Absolutely. Big up Ayamide. What's going on, my friend? Adebayo, a very famous name. The Ineos should be let Garnacho rot on the bench. Don't Sal here. Make him a scapegoat. Manchester United should stop treating these players with kindness. Some of them shouldn't be treated. I agree with that, Ashley. Big up, mate. Look, you know what I say, mate? I'll say absolutely agree with that. They don't appreciate the position that they're in. There's people out there that would die for an opportunity like they are getting. The opportunities that they have, there's people out there that would die for that opportunity to play for this great football club, you know? And they just take it for granted. EC, I tell you, you're the biggest scumbags, Chelsea, Dortmund and Betis. I agree with that, mate. Absolute scumbags. Broke. Absolute broke. If nobody buys the bomb squad, they must train alone, but must be at every match and find if they don't. Absolutely. So that's Anthony, Garnacho, and Sancho at the moment, isn't it? Rashford is gone, of course. Rashford is gone. Jamie, just say the word. Jamie, there's a few on my stream, mate. You should go and attack them, mate. There's a few on my Twitter. Tyberg, the good old human beings, the good old human beings thing. Can't believe people fell for that rubbish presented by mainstream media. Mate, you know what? I wanted to watch the World Cup in 2022 and they completely slandered it. I couldn't watch the opening ceremony because they made it out of a virtual signaling program, not the World Cup. And it was absolutely... No offense. I wonder if they're going to do that to America, you know, in America in 2026. I guarantee you they won't. absolutely disgraceful the way they talk. So bad, isn't it? Ahmed, good afternoon. Donnarumma going City now. Let's wait and see. It all depends on Edison. Edison has had a bid from Galatasaray, of course, and it does depend on that one, of course. Big up, Darren, my friend. Big up. Randy, BBC is embarrassing England. Not only BBC, it was the ITV as well. ITV done it as well, of course, but BBC are the worst. I'm a calm guy, but I'm telling you, Sal, the day we win the league, I'm going to rub it in all those rivals. It's United against the world. Come on, EC. I'm going to be with you, brother, on that one. I'm definitely going to be with you on that one. Jamie Grayo, then you know what I mean. Then the channel has brainwashed this country into thinking some Arab countries are terrorist states and that they don't dig them over. Tommy Robinson. England's got Tommy Robinson walking around the country. So, I mean, unbelievable, isn't it, at the end of the day? Guys, as a guy who's mixed race, it's disgraceful. If we win the league, I'll come to Manchester for the trophy bus parade. I will fly to Manchester, Kenny, for the open bus parade if we win the league. Absolutely. Randy, we are united, loved, hated, never hated, adored, never ignored. Absolutely, big up, mate. Sal, it's a shame we have to songs for this Garnacho. I know, mate. Look, at the end of the day, we're going to be lying if we didn't say that when Garnacho broke through the ranks, he was a humble lad, skillful, talented. That scissor kick against Everton was absolutely incredible, as we know. Brilliant goal. Won the Puskas Award, of course, because it's such a brilliant goal. That signified his talent. When he first broke into the football team, we relied on him, to be honest. We were relying on him. He was getting those important goals. We all remember the important goal against Fulham when he broke through and scored the last-minute goal. Unfortunately, just some people, they let ego get to them. Whoever's in their ear is not telling them the truth. They're not telling them the right things. Look, he needs people in his ear saying, look, Alejandro. He needs them to say, Ali, look, mate, you're not there yet, mate. You got to carry on. You got to improve. You got to keep going, mate, because you're not there yet. And you have to try and carry on and improve, mate, because you're not the finished article. I refuse to comment on that disrespectful. Big up, my friend. Big up. Cheers, everyone. Who is that, Jamie? Who are you talking about, mate? Who are you talking about? I will join you on bus parade if we win the league. I can promise you that 100% now. We will all be there, Tyborg. If Manchester United win the league, guys, we will be there at that open bus parade, my friends. We will be there in Manchester on that open bus parade, guys. Don't worry about that. Absolutely. Absolutely. Hit the like, guys. Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Randy, you legend. Thank you so much, guys, and everyone who's joining the stream. Please don't forget to subscribe to the channel, guys, and obviously smash a like. You guys are in the house. Everyone is clicking likes. Garnacho FM is Garnacho. Yeah. Look, at the end of the day, look, it's nothing personal. That's one thing I would say. It's nothing personal. I like Garnacho as a footballer, but his attitude stinks, and that's what I would say. And attitude is a big part of football, unfortunately, for him. The attitude and arrogance is really, really going to harm him, and it's going to hurt him. Not just at Man United, it's going to hurt him in future and his future aspirations. Look, a talented lad. Lots of talented lads have played for Man United over the years. Remember Ravel Morrison, who played for Man United and didn't quite make it at Man United because his attitude stunk. And everywhere he went, his attitude stunk. And that happens with a lot of players. Balotelli, obviously Man City, the attitude stinks. And, at the end of the day, if you can't fix your attitude, no one wants to work with you. No one wants to play with you. You're a disruption on the football squad. Now, there's a difference between having determination, being a winner, and wanting to win at all costs, having arguments with your teammates. There's a difference between that and thinking you're the best in the world. It's okay to be arrogant in regards to, I think I've got the potential to be a very good player. I believe in my ability. But he thinks right now, this moment, he's prime Cristiano Ronaldo. That's what he thinks at the moment. And this is what's going to hurt you. You have to take accountability. You have to look at yourself in the mirror and say to yourself, nah, you know what? I got to fix up. I'm not good enough. How many goals did I have last season? How many assists did I have last season? Nothing. Not good enough for me. I got to do better. And my opinion would have been if I was Garnacho, I would have went to ESPN. I wouldn't even speak to ESPN at the end of the day because I don't like ESPN. But, I would have went to ESPN and said, look, you know what? We lost the game. We're disappointed. It's a disgrace. We are all embarrassed. Sorry to the Man United fans. And next season, we hope to make it up to them. That's what he should have done. Not make it all about himself, that I didn't play, blah, blah, blah. If you're going to mention something like that, mention it to the manager behind the scenes, man to man. That's what he should do at the end of the day. But obviously, it is what it is. And we got what we got, of course, guys. And here we are talking about it, of course. Absolutely. The thing with Garnacho, basically Garnacho is indirectly said he won't play. He'll be happy to sit in the reserves and waste away for the next 2 years, of course, which is, disgraceful anyway. What he should have been saying is that, look, I'm ready. I'm prepared. If you need me, I'm here. I'll play for you. I'm going to be professional. I'm going to play for the football club. At least, even if it's not true, at least Marcus Rashford did say that I'm going to be professional. I'm going to play when they're needed. I'm going to play. At least he said the right words. At least he said the right words, isn't it? At the end of the day. And, what Garnacho is doing in my humblest of humbles, in my humblest of opinion, I think it's disgraceful, to be honest with you. I really do think it's disgraceful. And, we'll have to wait and see, guys. We'll have to wait and see. But the Garnacho situation will rumble on. But on your bike, then doors away. Absolutely. Look, you know what? At the end of the day, I just hope that this toxic nature, this culture at this football club is eradicated from this football club. We need to end this noise at this football club, this negative aspect of our football club that has plagued us for many, many years now, especially since Sir Alex Ferguson has left. We've had this ever increasing season by season toxicity around the football club, around the fan base, sections of the fan base. It turned into little cults in the fan base. And then obviously we're getting the noises from the football club that continue to be negative. There's never a smooth week in regards to Man United. And the reason there's never a smooth week in regards to Man United is because we still got the same players at our football club. We still got bloody Luke Shaw at the football club at the end of the day. Tyburg. I do take it personal, Sal. He disrespects the club. I adore all my life. So I am offended and I do not take personal. He can F off. Big up for Tyborg. Look, what we say is that what's going to happen is going to happen, Tyborg, at the end of the day. What's going to happen is going to happen. When you speak like that about Man United and you're speaking like that under Ruben Amorim now, you're not speaking like that under Erik ten Hag. When you speak like that under Ruben Amorim, generally, he's going to leave the football club. He's a young lad. He's silly. He's stupid. He's brainwashed, whatever he is. And you know what? He's going to learn his lessons sooner down the line. We all know what young people do. We know what they're like. When I was young, I said a lot of stupid things. He's gonna pay the price. He's going to pay the price eventually, because at the end of the day, a footballer's career is short. And as we know, if you don't make it in the next club he's at, it's just going to be like this. It's just going to be like this. EC. Same here, Tyborg. Absolutely. Look, at the end of the day, we don't need to call him any names because we're bigger than that. We don't need to call him any names. We don't need to do that. We don't need to call him a P word and stuff. Because at the end of the day, we know what he is, mate. We know what he's done. He's a young lad. He's naive. He's ignorant. Whatever you want to say. He's made a mistake. And look, he's going to leave this football club. Okay? Now, if he doesn't play for this football club, he's going to be out the door anyway. But one thing's for certain. He's the one who's going to suffer. He's the one who's going to suffer because he's going to go in the reserves, the under-21s, and he's the one who's going to be dropped from the Argentinian national team for the World Cup. So who wins here? Let him go and let him do what he wants to do. You're sitting in the reserves, mate. You're not going to play now. F off then. You're not going to play. At the end of the day, that is what it is. That's what it is. And we know that he's not going to win this one. This is a round that he's not going to win. And I think that, if Chelsea don't offer the money, then I just feel like he's going to be look, if Chelsea really wanted Garnacho, they'd pay the money for Garnacho. Number one, right? But Garnacho needs to open the scope of his horizons and say that, look, if I don't go to Chelsea, I will go to another football club. Who's after me? Who wants me? Rather than just tunnel vision. I want to go to Chelsea and I don't want to go to anyone else. If Chelsea don't offer you the money, mate, what are you going to do? You don't hold the club to ransom, mate. If we get an offer from another football club, we're going to accept the offer. I've heard rumors about Atletico Madrid have made strides for Garnacho, but Garnacho doesn't want to go back there. Of course, he started his career there. I've heard things like that, I think it's ignorance. Yeah, it's not. It is. It's like it's like young person syndrome. At the end of the day, it's just like he just doesn't get it. He doesn't know how fortunate he is to play for Manchester United at the end of the day. And he just doesn't know that. He doesn't understand how much this club means to many of us. There's loads of us out there who love this football club, who would die for this football club at the end of the day. Ephraim, Sal, why a club have a power like players? I don't get that, Ephraim. Power. I'm not sure what you mean there, mate. Sorry, mate. I'm not sure what you mean there, Ephraim. No problem. You can rephrase that for me, please, mate. Rephrase that for me. But yeah, look, you know what? I want to move on from that situation. Garnacho will be Garnacho. You know, he will leave the football club, and that's it. You know, and then we move on. Of course, guys. I'm a grown man. I don't need to call him any names. I don't need to say anything. I've seen a lot of players come and go. He will go. He's going to be his own enemy. He's going to be his own worst enemy at the end of the day. He's the one who's going to be turning around in 10 years' time saying, you know what? I should never have left Man United. Do you know what I mean? And he's the one who's going to be saying that. No one else. Garnacho is a Chicharito quality player. Not shit, but not world-class either. The problem is he thinks he is the next George Best. Chicharito, mate, I think that's a disservice to Chicharito. I think Chicharito was an absolute gunman in front of goal. When you put that ball in front of the goal, I guarantee you, lo and behold, Javier Hernandez will score. An absolute madman. Absolutely. Jamie, stop swearing, mate. Stop swearing. I can't read your messages if you swear, mate. This is YouTube, mate. You know, Ephraim, if he came to Old Trafford, it would be toxic. Who's that? If he comes to Old Trafford, you mean Garnacho? He's at Old Trafford, my friend. Big up, Ephraim. Absolutely. Don't quite get you there, my friend, but never mind. No problem, Jamie. Look, I would love to read out your message. I'm good at swearing. I'm the best at them, but this is monetized. You know what I mean? At the end of the day, I'll be in trouble, guys, at the end of the day. But yeah, we all feel the same, Jamie, my friend. We all feel the same. We know what's going on. But let's look at it like this. He will not play for Man United anymore. He will leave this football club. I'm making a bet right now. I'm making a guess, guys. I'm making a guess that he will leave and he will go to Chelsea. I'm saying that he will leave and he will go to Chelsea. Then he's not our problem anymore. And that's basically what it is. He's not our problem anymore. He can go at the end of the day. Jamie. It's going to be chaos when he comes. Yeah, Tyborg, that might be a bit better, but bro, absolutely. I could swear in about a few languages as well. Absolutely. Old Trafford, don't forget, lad. Absolutely, mate. Absolutely. Old Trafford, big up, mate. Yeah, look, guys, you know, what I'm hoping, guys, as I said yesterday, I did make a very bold prediction that Man United are going to win the league next season. We're going to get a title charge, stuff like that, of course. I know I might be a little bit ahead of myself, but, you know, if we do win the league, guys, I will be going to Manchester and I will be doing the open bus parade. Of course I will, guys, with you guys there. And I hope you're all going to be there, guys, at that parade. It'd be absolutely fantastic, of course, guys. It'd be absolutely brilliant. For Man United to win something finally, for Man United to win something major finally, that'd be absolutely a beautiful sight, wouldn't it, at the end of the day? And winning the league is something that we haven't done now in 12 years. And it will be an emotional sight. It would be a very emotional sight. And, you know, that would mean that we have a fantastic season and everyone on this stream will be able to witness it, you know, and what we had last season. You never know. Alex, keep Garnacho. Have him on the bench every game. Have him warm up 90 minutes and never put him in. If he refuses, suspend him without pay. Good point for Alex. That is a very, very good way to punish someone, to be honest with you. That is what is it? The Saw. Have you seen the movie Saw? That is like the movie Saw. He should be working on that. Absolutely. That is a way to punish someone. Yeah. Put him on the bench. And he stays on the bench and that's it. And he doesn't play. He trains. And if he doesn't play, he gets fined. Absolutely. I agree with that one. Absolutely. Big up, Jamie, my friend. Big up. Nice one, man. Nice one. Don't worry about it. Don't worry. Look, I supported this club for a long, long time, guys. As you know, I bang on about it a lot of times. You know, it's taken up 90% of my life. This football club, you know, I know how much this club means to everyone. It means the world to me. Do you know what I mean? I don't just sit here with a Man United cap on and pretend to be a Man United fan and only turn up in the transfer window like some of those other content creators out there who pretend to be Man United fan and pretend they're in the know and pretend this. I actually love this football club. Yeah, I actually love this football club. Mate, when you leave work at 7 a.m. and you get a coach all the way overnight coach to Manchester, right, to Manchester Airport to fly off to a European game in the Champions League, watch the Champions League game, and then fly off and work the next day in the morning. Then you know about what Man United is all about and that how proof is in the pudding. I love this football club. And when people disrespect me, this football club, I feel it as well. I feel it as well. But I know what's going to happen now because I know that with this manager, this silent assassin, this man is the one who's going to take us forward and he's the one who's going to input discipline into this football club again. I really do hope so. Absolutely. Jamie, we look different now with this team, because they manage bin players or bad auras. Absolutely. And this is one thing that no other manager has done over the last few years is bin these players, the fan favourites, for example. We have to bin the players. But one thing I would urge Ruben Amorim to do is also pick players based on performances. If players don't fit the tactics or the formation, pick the right player. Even if it's a fan favourite, even if it is your mate, pick the right player. That's what I would say in regards to that. Absolutely. And, don't take any prisoners because at the end of the day, these players are the ones that failed last year. They're the ones that came 15th last year. They're the ones who made an embarrassment performance against Tottenham last year in the final, So always remember that. I will never forget what happened last season. I will never forget. We were here and we witnessed it, guys. I heard all the build up to the Europa League final. It was incredible. But guys, if Manchester United manage to get Baleba through the door, if Man United get Baleba through the door and get a goalkeeper, my oh my, it's going to worry. I already can see the rival fans getting worried, guys. I can already see them getting nervous, fidgeting in their seats and stuff like that, scratching their heads and things like Pep Guardiola. I've already seen them getting nervous because we signed Mbeumo, Cunha and Sesko. They're worried that Man United might get Baleba. They're worried that we might get a goalkeeper. That's why they're trying to block us in buying Donnarumma. That's why they're doing that. They want to block the transfer of Donnarumma. Of course, that's what they want to do because they don't want us to get him. It's as simple as that. It's as simple as that. Absolutely. They don't want us to get him. And obviously it affects them. Euro looks up for it. Most of them do. Absolutely. There's a few of them, but not all of them. There's a few of them, not all of them. I don't trust a lot of those players. And that includes our captain. I don't. He's got a lot of work to do to prove me wrong. Absolutely. Sal, is there any song for Sesko? I don't know, mate. I haven't had one yet. I haven't heard one yet. I haven't spoken to one yet. But yeah, there probably will be one. We'll have to wait and see, of course. Darren, United will be back where we belong, 100%. Current Darren, I believe that. I believe that we will be back. The cream always rises to the top, of course. And I believe that Man United will be back where they rightfully belong, at the summit of English football. The league needs a competitive Man United. The league needs a competitive Man United. They need a Man United that is challenging for the league. That's what the league needs. When Man United were competitive, that's when the Premier League was thriving, is when Man United were competitive. There's a lot of Mbeumo suits. There's a lot of them. I mean, I've heard some. We need to stop slap Garnacho. All right, mate, I'm going to give you it. I'm going to give you it just because you said, guys, I'll give you this to Garnacho. I'm going to call Garnacho into the room. Garnacho, what you said was out of order, mate.
Come closer. What is the sound of one hand clapping?
I don't know. What is the sound of one?
That is what you get. Because remember that, Garnacho, you might not know this, but remember what we're talking about, mate. Remember who we are.
Don't underestimate Manchester United.
You do not underestimate the Manchester United. You do not underestimate Man United. Absolutely. And if you still don't want to believe us, and you still want to give us your nonsense,
fuck off.
That is what you do. At the door. Absolutely. Guys, thank you so much for joining me today, you absolute diamonds, legends. Please don't forget to subscribe to the channel if you're new. And also, don't forget to smash a like on the video. We've had nearly 100 people on the stream today. So, guys, just please smash a like. It really helps the video and the algorithms and stuff like that. So, guys, please do that for me. Absolute legends today. I'll be back tomorrow, for Breaking Dawn. If I'm not back today, I'll be back tomorrow. But anything could break. Of course, these days with Man United, there might be news, and I will be live with any bit of news that comes in, any bit of breaking news, guys, that comes in. I will be live, guys. So I want to say thank you to everyone. Again, I appreciate everyone, guys, and I appreciate you for joining me every single day. and let the channel grow. Let's keep growing. We keep expanding. We keep progressing. We keep evolving. As you can see, the channel is evolving. And guys, we'll keep doing it and we keep going on, guys. Have a great night, evening, morning, wherever you are in the world. I'm Sal Warner. This is Chatterbox, and I shall see you tomorrow if nothing else breaks, of course. Take it easy. Peace.